folks who are in the courtroom as well as individuals who are appearing via Zoom. This is a misdemeanor criminal calendar, so if you are a defendant who is appearing in person or by Zoom, please remember that this is, that you have a constitution. You have a constitutional right to remain silent. Anything that you choose to say in the course of these proceedings, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we have public defense counsel both on Zoom as well as in the courtroom, who will be glad to pre-qualify you to see if they may provide you with their services. Otherwise, you would need to hire your own counsel, or you can choose to waive your right to counsel and represent yourself. Keep in mind that if you choose to represent yourself, you are responsible for understanding how the particular laws and procedures apply to the facts of your case and how any legal decision you make may impact your personal situation. So I'm going to begin first. Who do we have as our prosecutors today on Zoom? I see Ms. Sarita Gippier. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. It is just me this morning.
Okay. Well, you're going to be very, very popular this morning then. We have a couple of attorneys here who would love to have a little chat with you. And then we have a few more on Zoom as well. So let me begin with, let me see. We have on the show cause calendar, I have position number 9. Attorney Ms. Spearman. Ms. Spearman, if you'd like to come around to the podium right there.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, you said a show cause calendar?
Yeah, project, the Orca show cause calendar, 9 a.m. Do you have that one? I have a show cause calendar, I have a final plea calendar, and I have a status calendar.
My apologies. I was looking at the 1:30 calendar. My apologies.
Oh, okay, well, you're way ahead of me then. Okay. So we have one case on the motions calendar, Shaquille Adams. That case is going to be reset. So I think we're going to give you a date later on, but it's going to be reset sometime in June. Okay?
Thank you.
The next date I have is June 22nd, but I'm not sure if
Just not.
she'll be okay with it.
I think she will, yeah. We have a tentative date of June 22nd at 9 a.m.
Yes, for another motions, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We take it from the motions calendar, okay?
Person I've seen on Orca.
So that's with regard to that position. All right, going back to the show cause calendar, position number 9, Armand Sanada Saidi. We have counsel Ms. Spearman at the podium. She would like to have a conversation with you about this case. How may she reach you? Do you see at the podium?
I think you can see it at the bottom part of my dress.
I can see, can I put my number in to Miss Younger to give to her?
Yes, go ahead. All right, Ms. Spearman, we're going to get her cell number and then you can step outside to have a discussion with her.
Great, thank you,
As we
Judge.
go through the calendar, just wait till Ms. Gippier gets a recess and then she'll get a beeline of people making calls to her, okay?
Okay,
All right.
should I step away from the podium?
Yeah, we're going to give you a number. And by the way, before I leave the Saidi case, is there an offer on the table for that case?
Thank you.
We have not received an offer, Your Honor.
Let's see if Ms. Gippier has one right now.
It is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, 6 weeks anger management, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with the victim.
Okay. We can begin with that, all right? Thank you, Ms. Spearman.
Thank you.
Mr. Michael Bixson, you have position number 7, Charles McCoy.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Good
We
morning,
have
sir.
everybody for the court.
All right, and you're ready with the plea?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and I have the paperwork. Give me a moment and we will be taking that up very shortly. Thank you. Ms.
Sounds
Ritchie.
good. Thank you, Judge.
And your client is, okay, I see. Just
Charles McCoy.
wait there. I see him. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Diego, I'll get to your cases very shortly.
Oh, no problem, Judge.
Okay, let me see.
Because after you call the calendar, I just want to let you know I need to,
Yeah,
we need to talk about this 1:30 calendar. I have a big problem.
okay,
Okay.
will do.
Your
On the-
Honor, just also, for the Sadie case, the position 9,
yeah,
I'm still not seeing an, entry of appearance on that case.
well, that's what she's gonna talk to you about.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Position number 4 on the final plea calendar, I have Scott Dennis Hill. Mr. Zimmerman, good morning.
Good morning. I had to get off mute. So how are you, Judge?
Fine, thank you. Good to see you. Yes,
Good to
sir.
see you.
Is your client ready to take a plea today, or do you need to speak to the
No,
prosecutor?
Judge, we had this negotiated back in December, and I've been in communication with him for 3 years. He was 67 years old. When in the middle of trying to get him to complete the paperwork, I lost touch with him. He was up in Baltimore at the Sidney Kimmel Cancer Comprehensive Center, which is part of the Johns Hopkins Medicine. He was receiving weekly chemotherapy treatments for life-threatening head and neck cancer of the throat. I lost track of him. He was calling me from there, and then he disappeared. He's 67, or he was 67 years old. So I have no family contacts for him, and none of his family lived here. I think they lived up in Baltimore. I've had my secretary trying to check obituaries here in Georgia, obituaries in Maryland. I just don't. So this is the 3rd calendar we've been on, and I've called him, texted him, and emailed him, and absolutely no reply. And that's totally unusual because he stayed in touch with me for 3 years. So at this point, I mean, this is the 3rd calendar I've been on.
Okay,
If the state wants an all process, that's great. If the state wants a dead docket, that's great. If y'all want to put out a bench warrant, that's fine. I have no way to move forward with this at this point. I think he's passed away, but I don't know that I can't say that to the court.
okay. Ms. Githia, Mr. Zimmerman has offered you door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. Which one would you like to step into?
And let me just say, I really do hope that Mr. Hill is okay. But until we have something to show why he's not here, the state is going to ask for a bench warrant in this situation.
All right. I'm going to grant the bench warrant. It's going to be a $500 bond on each count. So that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. Mr. Zimmerman, if his family or some friend or family managed to get in touch with you, please let us know, and you can file the appropriate motion to set aside the bench warrant.
I will absolutely do that, Judge, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the prosecutor's position on this as well.
right.
That'll complete my business. May I be excused?
Yes, Mr. Zimmerman, you have a great week. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
All right, and Ms. Rothman, may I ask who's your client?
Good morning, Your Honor. It's David Nelson. He should
David
be on.
Nelson? Okay, position number 7. And how are we proceeding with Mr. Nelson's case?
Your Honor, we are still negotiating with the prosecutor. We've been in touch with her and have promised her that we would get some paperwork, or if we could put this on another calendar so that we can continue those negotiations.
What exactly is holding up the decision, the ultimate decision?
We just have some paperwork, some medical paperwork that we'd like to get her, Your Honor. So I'm working on that with my client. So if you'd like to put on another status, or if you'd like to put it on a trial calendar, either one.
Okay, let's go ahead and put it on the jury trial calendar.
Great.
And I'm going to issue a case management order today. And hopefully you'll get it resolved before trial. Otherwise, please be prepared to go to trial. Okay, and do we have a trial date today?
What the next one, the next jury trial date? Jury trial.
We don't have dates yet, right?
I think it's June or July. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We don't have fixed dates set right now, so as soon as one is sent, you will be given notice as well as your client. Just make sure
Thank
that Nelson maintains his current contact information. All right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And we will issue a case management order today.
Great, thank
Thank you. All right, are there any other private counsel in, Mr. Brown, excuse me, yes, and Mr. Brown was, on the, no. Oh, final fee
Number
calendar.
Position 8.
Position 3. All right, we have on the final fee calendar, we have, Jared Leon Peace. Counsel is Adam Brown, he's at the podium. And he's also eager to speak with you, Ms. Githia. Shall I provide him with your number to call?
Yes,
Perfect.
What's the offer right now for Mr. Peace?
it is 12 months to serve 6 days, credit for time served 6 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, and no harassing or violent contact with the victim, Crystal Cannon Lewis.
And just for recording purposes, Judge, that offer was relayed on April 10th by email, and we responded on April 12th on that. But I'd like the opportunity to speak with Ms. Githia about that.
We are going to give you, the number, and then she'll be able to speak with you. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other private counsel in the courtroom? Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nick Kasakian here. I'm appearing pro se. I have a case. My personal case is on the calendar. It should be on the plea calendar. I was negotiating with the state, and the state, I think, has thought that I had a prior DUIs. Their offer was reflecting that this is my second intent, where I've had no priors. This will be my first one. So this is something I'll probably need a little bit more time to talk with the state. I can do that today, hopefully.
Yes, so what, we have one prosecutor on the screen right now. Her name is Sarita Dipiaya. And I'm going to give you her number, and you're going to be in a beeline with 2 other attorneys to speak with her.
Fantastic.
All right. And so this is going to be position number 5 on the final fee calendar. Mr. Nick Kasatkin. Is that
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, any other private attorneys on the Zoom, on the Zoom panel? Okay. Folks, I'm going to go real fast through the rest of the calendar so that Ms. Githia may get on the phone and make you all the calls this morning. I'm going to start with the status conference calendar. Danger Alt, Mr. Gaither.
Your Honor, I think this calendar is.
I'm sorry.
You did what I did.
We do need to talk about this after you call the other calendar.
Okay.
Okay.
And let me start with the show cause calendar for 9 a.m. Contrast Benton.
Good morning, Judge. That is my case. However, Mr. Benton was incarcerated in DeKalb County and I checked for today. Looks like he was released on April the 24th, 2023. That's what the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office shows on their website.
Mhm.
I have never spoken to Mr. Benton, and I don't even believe he knows that I'm his lawyer. And I'm not even sure whether he received notice of today's calendar.
Well, I don't think so. Mr. Benton, are you on the Zoom? Mr. Benton, are you in the courtroom? All right, he's not present right now.
And he was incarcerated in DeKalb for quite some time, so it's not like he was just there for a day or two.
I can reset this case one final time for him to appear.
Sure.
Ms. Clemens is
Good
trying to
morning,
speak.
Judge.
Yes, Ms. Clemens?
Hey, my victim, Ms. Starkeisha, is on the line for this case, and defendant was notified of this hearing. She spoke to the defendant.
Okay, Ms. Tarkisha, if you please unmute and show. Ms. Tarkisha? All right, let me just,
Well, we may have a slight problem there because I'm not,
yeah, let's
I
see.
wouldn't want her testimony to be violative of any bond order that I haven't seen either, Judge.
I know. Well, as soon as she starts a video, I'll be able to hear what she has to say.
Ms. Lester, you can unmute and turn your camera on and speak to the judge, please.
And before you start speaking, Ms. Darkeisha, if just in terms of that you have spoken to him, do not speak about the specifics, please.
Ms. Tarkisha, can you lower your device so we can see your face? All right. Yes, ma'am. May I place you on the oath? Do you solemnly, can you say testing 1, 2, 3? Okay, I can't hear you. Your audio is not connected. You need to check your device and make sure your audio is connected, okay? As soon as you've done that, then we'll be able to address the issue of notice. No, can't hear a word. All right, while we're waiting for Ms. Clements to contrast Benton, Mr. Gaither?
Yeah,
Position
yeah,
one.
positions 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Same answer.
Otto Calvert? Mr. Calvert, who's your attorney?
Yeah, I think what happened, Judge, he contacted the clerk's office and I think I may have filed a motion to remove the bench warrant. I'm not sure, but either way, I'll represent him.
Okay, all right, we've got a bench warrant, so please hold. You need to speak to your attorney, okay? Anthony Caldwell, is that your client as well? Anthony Caldwell, are you present? Anthony Caldwell?
Oh, Your
And-
Honor, he is in DeKalb County City Jail.
All right, so this is gonna be reset to the next status calendar, which is, what's that little sheet of paper? June 8th at 9 a.m.
Status said, you said status or
Status, because
1:30.
he's still in jail.
It's at 1:30.
Oh, status is at 1:30?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry, June 8th at 1:30. Okay. Alicia Edwards? Alicia Edwards is back there. Miss Edwards, who's your attorney? Okay, you need to speak to Mr. Gaither here to see if you qualify.
You can proceed. I'll talk to you.
Donald Hudson? Donald Hudson? Not on Zoom, not in the courtroom?
I'm showing, Judge, that that's Mr. Mike Rolfoff's case. I see his name on it, but I can't confirm whether that's his case or not. But I do know that Mr. Rolfoff had I think he had a personal matter situation where he wasn't able to come to court yesterday, so.
Judge, I'm here. Good morning, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'm covering for Mike's cases today and well, I want to see if I can either be in a breakout room or I can walk over if there's a prosecutor there just to approach the bench to address some
Okay,
of the cases that Mike, but as far as Mr. Hudson is concerned, Judge, I'm looking through the file. I don't know if Mr. Hudson appeared the last time.
he did not. He didn't appear on March 30th.
And there's notations that there was that Mr. Ralphoff left attempted to contact Mr. Hudson, but we've not had any contact with him. So obviously the court can do what is appropriate in this case, Judge.
Ms. Gutierrez?
Yes, 2 points I just want to point out because he did fail to appear at his last hearing. So the state's going to request a bench warrant. Then I also wanted to address the fact that this may possibly be transferred to Superior Court.
Okay, well, until y'all make that decision, right now,
Okay.
the bench warrant's going to issue is going to be $1,000 surety bond, 500 on each count. Moving on, position 8, Cameron McNair.
Here.
Cameron McNair,
Stand up, sir.
if you hear your name, please stand up, especially in the courtroom. All right, Mr. McNair, who's your attorney?
I don't have one. And
Speak louder.
I don't have one. And I don't really know what I'm charged with.
You're charged with 2 counts of criminal trespass, 1 count of criminal trespass causing damage to property, simple assault from May 25th, 2020. All right. Do you want to speak to the PD's office to see if they qualify?
Yes, and I'm.
Put your arms down, unless you're about to fly around the room.
No, I was on the straight, I ain't gonna lie.
Okay,
But I wanted to ask, how can I get charged either? Fine or move?
you need to speak to an attorney,
I'll talk to him.
all right? And, okay, so that was my Show cause calendar, the final plea calendar, Christopher Bailey. Are we doing a plea today, Mr. Gaither?
Good morning, Judge. Mr. Bailey,
Christopher Bailey's not present.
is he present on the Zoom?
No,
Can we hold this case, Judge? I did speak to him. I'm not sure where he is.
all right, we'll hold. Justin Finch, that's Mr. Rockoff's case. Do you need to speak to Ms. Gippier about that?
No, Judge, Mr. Finch should be on, I think it says Justin's iPhone. I believe that's him.
Justin Finch, if you're present, this would be a good time to say hello. There you are. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
this is kind of unusual situation, Judge, and again, it relates back to me needing to approach the court. But on behalf of Mr. Finch, Judge, I'm looking through the file. I don't have discovery. I plan on taking over the case, Judge. When I spoke to him this morning, I communicated to him the recommendation. I just honestly, I needed a little bit more time. I understand, this is not the court's issue. But if we can set it for either another status or a jury trial, and if we work out a plea, if I can set it, contact the litigation manager for a plea, that'd be great, Judge, if the court would allow me that opportunity. So
We had just 1 second, Mr. Haddad, we had an FTA on December 2nd. We had an FTA on January 5th. He finally showed up, or maybe someone showed up on January 30th, and the case was finally reset for a final plea. So what I'm going to do is have you speak to Ms. Gippier about to see whether Mr. Finch wants to resolve the case today, otherwise I'm scheduling it for trial.
And that's fine, Judge, if the court just wishes to, I've communicated the offer, I just needed more time, and I don't have the discovery. I'm not.
No,
blaming-
I understand.
not blaming the state, but if we can, I just needed some time. We can set it for a jury trial, Judge. And
Okay.
once I get the discovery, I'll reach out, sit down with Mr. Finch and
Definitely.
let the court know. Obviously, if it's gonna plea, I don't want to waste anybody's time by.
So you've got 2 cases now that you're going to be talking with Ms. Gippier. So Mr. Finch, you need to stay on the Zoom until Mr. Haddad has just finished his discussion with the prosecutor. Thank you for Jeffrey Greenway. Jeffrey Greenway is not in the courtroom. Are you on Zoom? No, Jeffrey Greenway.
And
The state is going
Judge,
to request a bench warrant. He was aware of today's hearing.
that's my understanding. I don't know if Mr. Greenway appeared previously, but from the notes that I see, I don't know. I don't know if Mike had any luck reaching him, so.
Okay, bench warrant's going to issue on Mr. Greenway is going to be $1,000 surety bond. 500 on each count. Okay, Courtney McLean, position 6. Courtney McLean. Oh, that's the one I have a conflict. Sorry, that one's going to be good at 1:30. 7, 8. Andrew Tolliver. Andrew Tolliver, not present. And I don't have an attorney listed.
The state is going to request a bench warrant.
Right, that's going to be a bench warrant granted, $1,000 surety, 500 on each count. And Deshaun Williams. Mr. Williams is present. Mr. Williams, who's your attorney? Mr. Zimmerman? What's your attorney's full name? He was on the screen? The person seated at the table?
Your Honor, I apologize. Looks like Mike has a file on this case.
Okay, Mr. Roffoff. Okay, got it now.
If Mr. Williams can remain in the courtroom, Judge, I'll head over there and talk.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds good.
if you can either email me the recommendation or text me or whatnot, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll email it to you momentarily.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so these are the cases that, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the courtroom whose name I did not call?
Madam Secretary.
Anyone in the courtroom whose name I did not call, stand up. What's your name? Who?
Okay,
Congress Benton.
he's position 1 and 2, Judge.
Excellent.
That's,
Mr. Githia, Contrast Benton, position 1 and 2 on the show cause calendar is present, so he's going to be speaking to Mr. Gaither. All right, all right, Mr. Benton, good thing you're here. Mr. Starkisha, you do not need to testify. You're free to go or you're free to stay, but you can close your video out if you want. Thank you. All right, folks, before I let Ms. Githia out, I'm going, yes, Ms. Gaither?
and I apologize, Judge, but this is very important.
Can you let me finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Mr. Dixon?
Yes, Judge.
All right, sir. And Mr. Charles McCoy, if you could please start your video as well. Ms. Kathir, this is position number 7 on the show cause calendar. This is State versus Charles Reginald McCoy, 20 CR 001640C. Mr. McCoy is accused of reckless conduct, dog at large, and no Fulton County license tag with respect to a July 6, 2019 incident. Mr. McCoy is present and represented by counsel, Mr. Michael Dixon. The prosecutor is Ms. Sarita Ithia. This is going to be a negotiated plea hearing. And I've got the plea documents as submitted. And so, Mr. McCoy, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. May I place you under oath for just purposes of the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Githia, what is the state's recommendation?
For the dog at large, it is 6 months probation, a $400 fine, or 40 hours of community service, and balance suspended upon completion of the condition. Reckless conduct and no Fulton County license tag will be null process.
Okay.
Does the defendant stipulate to the facts, venue, and ID?
We do, yes.
All right. And Mr. Dixon, your client accepts these terms?
He does, yes. Although there was 2 things that I forgot to mention. One is that on the plea paperwork, I believe the state put suspended. It was supposed to be terminated upon completion. The other thing, I just want to make sure we're not going to have any issues before we do the plea, is Mr. McCoy actually lives in Texas. And so the only condition of this plea, Judge, is that he has to pay $400. I just want to make sure that he's not going to have to fly all the way back from Texas to Atlanta just to report like one time for probation. I don't know if we can make it like report by phone, because again, all he has to do is pay $400 for it to terminate.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, which one was he going for, fine or pay? I mean, the
A
fine.
fine,
Pay,
Judge, yes.
okay. So I will do 1 month telephonic reporting. He has until the end of May to pay the fine. Otherwise, he'll need to report in person June 1st onwards.
Mr. McCoy, would that work for you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Judge.
So you can either send the funds to Mr. Bixson, or if someone is, he has a friend or family who will walk to probation and pay the fine, that's perfectly fine. But the first month will be telephonic reporting and to pay the fine. And once he pays the fine, the balance is suspended.
And Judge, I could bring that in to the probation. Is the probation in the courthouse?
Probation's at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
All right, and you can go there anytime next, what's today, Thursday? Next Thursday before 3 p.m.
Wonderful. Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Mr. McCoy, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
No, Your Honor.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea today?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Anyone forcing you or inducing you to accept this plea offer today?
No, Your Honor.
If you decide to plead guilty to the dog at large, you would have to give up your constitutional right to challenge the charges in a court of law, to be able to question witnesses, to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought by the state, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right? How do you plead to one count of dog and lodge?
Guilty, Your Honor.
The remaining charges of reckless conduct and no Fulton County license tag are going to be null pros. The sentence is going to be 12 months, 6 months, to 6 months probation, during which time you have a $400 fine plus any court costs or probation fees to pay. The attorney is going to report to the probation office next Thursday in order to pay off these fines. And once the fine is paid, the balance is suspended. Otherwise, you would need to start reporting in person from June 1st, 2023 onwards. I think that's it. Ms. Vixen, I don't think I have anything else to say. Wouldn't you agree?
I think that's it, Judge. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you,
May-
Mr. Best of luck.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Thank
Thanks to
you.
you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Gaither, what is the issue that you need to raise?
Yes, Judge, our 1:30 calendar, I have a conflict, and I did not even realize that I had one until really yesterday when I noticed that this calendar, well, actually day before yesterday, when I realized this calendar is at 1:30 and not at 9:30. More than half of the cases are mine, and I have to be upstairs to answer a Superior Court calendar for
I
two
can hold
cases.
for you.
Okay, that was causing me some anxiety, that's all.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to be taking a brief recess for folks to speak to their respective attorneys and attorneys to reach out to Ms. Githia. Thank you. Probably be about a 30-minute recess. So 9:30, so we'll resume at about 10:05. Thank you. All right, it's 10:05 a.m. Court is resuming from its recess. Ms. Githea, are you available?
Your Honor, if you could just give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes. Okay, Your Honor. And if Mr. Kasatkin is in the courtroom, I just sent him an email.
Oh. Let me check.
All right.
Okay, Your Honor, that changes my mind and I will go ahead and take the plea.
Okay. Ms. Githea, if you have the plea paperwork ready, if you could email it to Ms. Younger, Mr. Kasatkin.
Correct. Your Honor.
Kasatkin will review the documents and we'll move forward with the plea today.
Okay.
Thank you so
It'll
much.
take just a second to get that done.
Okay, sir, we're going to get the plea documents and it'll be given to you for review and we'll take it up shortly, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Spearman, you had an announcement. This is position 9 on the past calendar.
Don't do that today, actually.
Yes, Your Honor, I sent Ms. Githea one last counter proposal that was very similar to her original.
You can use that mic, that's fine.
Thank you. I sent Ms. Githea a counter proposal that was very similar to her initial proposal. So I do believe that if she accepts that text message offer, then we have a plea agreement.
Ms. Githea, this is position 9 on the show cause calendar, Arman Saidi.
I am looking at her message now. Yes, yes, Ms. Spearman, that's fine.
Perfect, Judge. Then we do have an agreement.
Right, so we're going to have a, Ms. Githea is going to go ahead and send the plea paperwork if you have a moment. As soon as we get it printed, it'll be for your client's review, then we'll move forward with the hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
So,
And if Mr. Gaither, when he gets a moment, I was meant to email you. Did I email you, Mr. Gaither?
I just,
You know, I might have been in the process and didn't get a chance to email you. If you could give me a call.
yeah, I just saw that you called. I will step out and call you now.
in a minute,
Okay.
Mr. Brown, you had an announcement.
Yes.
Section 8 on the final plea calendar.
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with the state on this matter and it appears that we're going to need to go to a motions hearing. And if that's not successful or dispositive, then we're requesting a bench trial on this case. We could set that at the same day if y'all are open to doing that.
All right, the bench trial and the motion calendar on the same day, June 22nd at bench trials at 1:30, motions at 9 a.m.
Okay. May I check my calendar for that? Did you say June 22nd? Same issue.
June 22nd at 9 a.m.
And 9 a.m. is motions?
Yes.
That appears to be good for me.
Ms. Githea, position number 8 is actually going to be reset for, do you have any objection to a bench trial?
This being a battery family violence, I'm sorry, the family violence, we would request a jury trial on that one, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's reset for motions on June 22nd at 9 a.m. That's the motions calendar. I'm also going to generate a case management order today and schedule it for a jury trial. If the motions calendar is dispositive, then it will be removed from the jury trial calendar.
Sounds great. And if I may make a statement to the state, I was looking at the discovery during the lull here, and I saw on a note on the discovery thing where a video said that it had been sent by to evidence.com through evidence.com. I did a full review of all of our email addresses, and we've not received that. So if they could just resend that, I'd appreciate that.
Will do.
Thank you so much.
So let's make a note that Ms. Githia is going to resend discovery to defense counsel or give him the access to the discovery. Anything else, Mr. Brown?
That's it for me. May I have
All
an
right, see
excuse?
you on
sir?
the 22nd. Thank you.
Much.
Ms. Githia, we have position number 3 on the final 3 calendar, Mr. Jeffrey Greenway, who has appeared in court. And I guess that's Mr. Ruff's case. With that, you'll speak to him?
I'll speak to him.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we're waiting on plea paperwork. Mr. Gaither, what announcements do you have?
Yes, I have several announcements. Let's start with the show cause calendar.
Okay, show cause calendar?
Sure. Position 1 and 2, Mr. Quantrez Benson, he is present. Mr. Benson, Senior. He's present, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And one, he definitely needs to have his address changed at the clerk's office. He just told me that all the notices have gone to the victim's house. That's how she knew about it, but he didn't know because there's a stay away order. He can't go there, and they're not supposed to be in communication with each other. So I just wanted to clear that up. Number 2, he has, of course, 2 cases. I've just spoken with him today. So I would just ask that we're not going to be able to work this out today, Judge. I only have the information for 1 case. I haven't even downloaded the information for the other case if it's there. I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I haven't had a chance to speak with him about his cases at all. And so since this is a show cause calendar and he was in the cab for quite some time, I asked him if you just put this on a regular status calendar flow and then hopefully we resolve it at the next phase.
So position number 1 is 20 CR 300C. Position
Right.
number 2 is 302C.
Right. And
We've got a new 21 CR.
I did not know about that. Yeah, that's a 3rd case.
Yeah, that's what I was going to speak with you about, Mr. Gaither.
Excuse me, Ms. Gaither, what did we say?
Oh, that's what I wanted to speak with Mr. Gaither about. It was a 3rd case out there.
Okay, yeah, 21 CR 005 209 209G. I think, I don't know whether it's been redesignated to Division C. So,
It's with Orca.
yeah, all in Orca now?
Yeah,
all
all
Okay.
3 of them.
And I'm sorry, I wasn't able to, I was moving too slow. 21 CR
005
005
209G,
209G.
correct.
Okay.
And
With all the more reason I asked this case to be placed on the status calendar. I'm not going to be able to resolve.
I understand.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Githia, with regards to all 3 cases, I'm not sure if discovery has been accessed by defense counsel who filed. I see an entry of appearance in November of 2020 by the public defender's office, then a new entry of appearance last month. By Mr. Gaither, all right.
Yeah, and I can tell you what happened. This case came on a show cause calendar. I forgot the date, but it was before my procedure.
Mhm.
And that's when we were on Zoom and I was able to look up and confirm that he was in DeKalb County. And so that's when I said I represent him. And so I prepared a motion to recall the bench warrant for one case, but I wasn't aware at that time there were two cases. And now there are three.
Right. Okay, Ms. Gatea, can you, how are you going to resubmit the discovery to Mr. Gaither?
Yeah, I was looking it up. It is in Odyssey. If he has access, he should be able to access that.
All right, Mr. Gaither, do you download the discovery from Odyssey?
Yeah, I can download it from Odyssey.
All right. Mr. Benton? You know how to speak quietly? No, you don't go anywhere. Sir. All right,
If all the discoveries in Odyssey, I can download it.
all right.
It is for the first two cases that are on the calendar. For the other one,
No,
it will need to be uploaded.
we're gonna put all three on a, I'm not gonna put it on a status calendar. Mr. Gaither,
I'm sorry,
I'm
Judge.
gonna put all three cases on a status calendar, let me see. Yeah, on a status calendar for June 8th.
June 8th, okay,
It's gonna be at 1:30 PM.
all right.
You'll need to appear in person. And by then, you should have discovery. You should have the plea offers,
Right,
and you can make a decision at that time whether we go to trial or whether we go to a final plea.
absolutely. Very good.
So it's for three cases, the positions 1 and 2, and the third one, which is 21 CR 005-209G. Was that his change of address form that you were trying to give him?
Yes.
Okay, do you have it?
Yes.
And is it legible? May I see it? Is that 30349?
That's the judge, so.
Do you have an email? Okay. Go ahead, you need to update that. All right, Mr. Benton, we're gonna accept this as your current address. If you have an email, you need to update us with your email address as well. You are responsible for making sure that your address and your contact information are all correct with the court at all times. Your attorney is Mr. Frank Gaither. You have 3 open cases before me today. Are you done cleaning your nose? Because I need to make sure you're paying attention. All right, you have 3 open cases with us today. Your next court date is going to be June 8th at 1:30 PM. Yes, sir.
To be 2 years incarcerated in Fulton County. I don't remember that no third case. I ain't even been like.
So your attorney is going to be discussing that with you. Just hold. This is a battery domestic violence charge, July 27th, 2021, incident date. You entered a not guilty plea on October 14th, 2021. Subsequently, and then your case was transferred to this calendar. So yeah, that's what we have on that case. All right, your attorney is going to look up all 3 cases and have a discussion with you. You need to make yourself available to speak with Mr. Gaither. And if you don't have any information, that would be the best source for information. Anything else? All right. Please remember that you, even though you may have resolved one matter in DeKalb, these are 3 active cases against you. So you need to comply with all your bond orders, including staying away from the victim, staying away from the location address, no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons.
Trying to send out my information to her, she probably threatened me at the rate on the back.
Because that you didn't update the court with your new address.
That's why you changed it today.
And that's exactly what Mr. Gaither is going to explain to you. All right. Stay in court to speak to Mr. Gaither, and then we will address this. All these 3 cases are reset to June 8th at 1:30 p.m. And he needs to be here in person.
Judge
You
Law
have
is,
it then? He's free to go?
Yes, yes.
All right, your other case, Mr. Gaither, that you wanted to address?
excuse me, Judge, sorry.
Yes.
Is my victim Miss Starkeisha Lester? Is she?
Yeah, she's free to go. Tell her she should not be calling him, or if he calls her, she needs to let the cops know or the prosecutor know, okay?
Okay.
All
Miss
right.
Lester, you're free to leave, okay?
Okay. Mr. Gaither, step away. Mr.
Okay.
Thank you, dear. You're free to go. Are we getting the plea paperwork?
I am almost done with one of them, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gaither, you're going to talk to Alicia Edwards from the show cause calendar?
Yes, Judge. As a matter of fact, position 3, Otto Calvert, I will represent him.
Otto Calvert?
Yeah, I will represent him. He's position 3.
Yeah.
Position 5, Miss Alicia Edwards, I will represent her as well, along with position 8, Cameron McNair. With Miss Edwards' case, position 5, I would like to get the state's recommendation now, if possible.
Repeat that, please.
Position 5, Alicia Edwards, if I can get the state's recommendation for her case now.
Okay. Ms. Githia, do you have a recommendation for Alicia Edwards?
I do. It is 12 months probation, 1 anger management class, and 20 hours of community service.
Balances, terminate upon completion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, that was the recommendation that was communicated to her, and I just wanted to confirm that. I can tell you, Judge, all 3 individuals, I'm gonna need to file my motions and get the state's discovery. I'm not gonna be able to resolve them today. I've had discussions with all 3 in the hallway already.
All right. Position number 3 is going to be reset to status June 8th at 1:30 p.m. for status or final plea. All right. Position 5, Alicia Edwards is reset to June 8th at 1:30 p.m. for status or final plea. And what was the other one? 8, Cameron McNair. And Mr. McNair, is he here? Have you changed your address? Made sure we got your current address?
Yes, I made sure. I made sure.
Stand up, please.
Yes, I made sure it was with the current address.
All right. So this is also, your attorney is Mr. Gaither, don't forget the name. And this is also reset to June 8th at 1:30 p.m. for status or final plea. So Ms. Githia, please make sure that Mr. Gaither has access to discovery long before June 8th, which is about a month away, just over, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then also convey the plea offers to Mr. Gaither for all 3 defendants. And that way we can hit the ground running on June 8th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Edwards, what's your question?
I just had a question because I'm just so confused as to why I'm even here. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, who is Miss Edwards? Is she on the calendar? Who's Miss Edwards? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm sorry.
Ms. Edwards was asking, she's confused why she's even here, but.
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Edwards, is the question answered?
No, because, no, Your Honor.
Okay, just give me a minute. Ms. Githia, this is an accusation that was drafted by the prosecution on April 8th. Excuse me. And other than the accusation, I don't have any other documents to get information. Excuse me, it was drafted on December 15th, 2020. Other than the accusation, I don't have any other documents with regards to informing the defendant with the nature of the charge. This was not an arrest case. Do you have any other information and incident report to that effect?
Let me look it up and see.
All right, as soon as we get the incident report, if there's one, you'll get more information. Okay, so Mr. Gaither, those are the three cases that are all going to be reset to June 8th, okay?
Right.
On the final plea calendar,
And all the individuals that's in court, I have their contact information. Are they free to go other than Miss,
yeah, they're free to go. That would be Otto Calvert, Alicia Edwards, who's still waiting for information, and Cameron McNair. Christopher Bailey on the final plea calendar. What's the announcement?
he is present, Judge?
Yep, got it. And
It appears that if the state is maintaining the same offer, then we just need to put this case on the trial calendar.
okay. And do you want a bench trial or jury trial?
This is a DUI case, Your Honor. The state is going to request a jury trial.
Case management order will issue. This case is reset for a jury trial. Mr. Bailey, please make sure that your contact information is always current with the court. Maintain communication with your attorney, Mr. Gaither, and your case is going to be scheduled for a jury trial. When, I do not know. All right, you're free to go. Justin Finch, Mr. Haddad, anything to add?
Yes, Judge. Judge, on behalf of Mr. Finch, I'm gonna go ahead and set it on a trial calendar, Judge. I'll talk to the prosecutor about getting discovery, and if we work it out, we'll work it out, but I just needed more time with that case.
On Justin Finch, we're going to issue a case management order. It's going to be set for a jury trial calendar. And just make sure your client, Mr. Finch here.
Yeah, he's on.
Oh, he's on Zoom?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Finch, please make sure that you maintain your current address with the courts and maintain communication with your attorney, Mr. Haddad, and we'll send you notice of your next court date to appear for trial.
Okay,
You're free to go. Thank you.
all right.
Judge, is my victim, Miss Kristen Hadley, is she free to leave as well for this case?
Kristen Hadley, you are free to go. Thank you. Right. Mr. Haddad,
Yes,
have you spoken to Jeffrey Greenway?
I have, Judge, and Your Honor, I don't have the calendar right in front of me, but
You probably need to be closer to a mic though. Either one. Yes, sir.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Greenway. I'm gonna take over the case, Judge, and I'll file the appropriate entry. We're gonna set it for the jury trial, Judge. I did want to point out that I believe, well, I know he has another case in a division. And if I can have a few minutes, I can pull up the case number. but it makes sense, frankly. I believe it's the same alleged victim. I don't see why the state would necessarily oppose. I mean, I think it would make more sense to set them both for a jury trial, Judge.
Ms. Githia, do you know if that's another case involving Jeffrey Greenway?
And if
I did not know that.
apparently this may have been brought up the last time. I'm not sure, but with the court's permission, just I can have one second, Judge. I have it buried somewhere. Hold on.
All right. Yes, Mr. Gabriel. Do you have a question
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
or somebody?
I think that's the same. Judge.
Your Honor, the other case is 22 CR 003297E.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
22 CR 003297E.
Okay, yeah, I was not aware of that one.
And if the state, I mean, it doesn't matter to me, Judge, if the state would rather put them both on another final plea, that's fine, but you know, whatever the court wishes to do. But he's maintaining.
This case is scheduled for it's already on track for a jury trial before Judge Morrison. And we have the PD's office, Rose Woodbury, who's representing it, isn't it?
She is, I mean, the case got bounced around here and Judge Morrison, I just don't know where it's gonna end up.
All right, what would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I'm happy to,
This one's an Orca, that one is not. I can send this back to be consolidated with Judge Morrison's trial calendar, and both cases can be on the trial track. And,
I mean, I would leave it up to the court, obviously, but my suggestion is frankly have Judge Morrison handle both
so
cases.
he got an attorney. Mr. Greenway, have you been speaking to Miss Rose Woodbury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This case is going to be sent back to Judge Morrison's division, and it's going to be placed on the same track with this newer case. And your attorney that you're going to be dealing with in both cases is Miss Rose Woodbury. All right?
Thank you, Judge. And you're free to go. I'll let Ms. Woodbury and I'll contact you here. Okay. Is he free to go, Judge? I'm sorry.
Yes, make sure that you comply with the conditions of your bond. So you understand that you cannot have any contact with, only can make out the word Sarah,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay? And stay away from the Bannock Court.
That's where I live.
Does that person live there?
No, ma'am.
All right. It says you can only stay there if you, if that person does not live there.
They don't live there. They didn't-
Okay. All right, this order was about a year ago, so just make sure you comply with those conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
And contact Ms. Woodbury, your attorney, and let her know that this case and Judge Morrison's case are now her responsibility.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and let me see.
Not to interrupt, Your Honor, the plea paperwork for Mr. Kasatkin, I just sent that over to Ms. Younger as well as Mr. Kasatkin.
Okay, as soon as Mr. Younger prints it up, we're good to go. And the other plea paperwork for Mr. Saidi, have you sent that in?
I'm about to start that one now.
Okay,
Your Honor, I have one more announcement whenever.
yeah,
the
you
court-
do, and that's for Deshaun Williams.
Mr. Williams is present, Judge. I'm gonna take over the case, Judge. We're just gonna set it for a jury trial. The state's recommendation is the max, so.
All right,
Um,
anything else?
no, Judge, and if whenever the court has some time, if I can approach, well, there's no prosecutor, I don't know.
When there's no prosecutor or when there is a prosecutor? I understand.
Right, so, it's dealing with Mr. Raffoff, Judge.
Understood. Mr. Williams, your case is going to be scheduled for a jury trial. I don't have a date at the present time, but one will be sent to your current address. At all times, make sure that your address, email, and phone number are current with us. All right? And your attorney is Mr. Haddad, and we will schedule this for a jury trial. A case management order will issue today. Thank you. All right, I'm ready to address the police as soon as whichever one is ready and to proceed. Is there anyone else's case who I have not handled on Zoom? I think we've addressed everyone on Zoom. Okay. The society. And Ms. Gideon, if you have a quick moment to send me anything on Miss Edwards' case, I can perhaps enlighten her on the nature of the charges.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I
So
switched back over. I do apologize.
No problem. I know you're multitasking. We'll take a brief recess to address whichever plea is ready to go. Okay, thank you.
And I just sent over the police report to you and Ms. Younger, Judge Law.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Your Honor.
We can maybe go to this podium.
Which podium? That one over there?
Right on right here. Ms. Githia, we're going to address State versus Kasatkin. All right,
Yes, Your Honor.
position 5 on the final T calendar. This is 20 CR 005398E, State versus Nick, middle initial A Kasatkin, accused of DUI, less safe, reckless driving, and DUI drugs, less safe, from October 24th, 2020, and the third count was from 2022. October 20, no, I think they're all October 24th.
Correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Kasatkin is appearing in court, appearing self-represented, and the state and the defendant have conferred, and we're going to proceed with this plea hearing. Mr. Kasatkin, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and you've also understood that you are representing yourself, right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Bring it out now, the waiver rights. Yeah. Bring it out. I do understand your position, sir, but we would need you to also fill out the waiver of counsel.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. May I place you on oath for purposes of the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be true to the best of your knowledge?
I so do.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Githia, what is the plea recommendation?
It is for count 1, DUI, less safe, 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, the balance probated, a $400 fine, 40 hours of community service, alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment, risk reduction program, and 1 victim impact panel. Counts 2 and 3 would be no process.
Mr. Kasatkin, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for these, for the one part of the UI?
I do, Your Honor.
And do you accept these terms?
I do, Your Honor.
Have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
I have not.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
I have.
And is anyone forcing you, inducing you to take this plea?
No, Your Honor.
And you've gone over the plea paperwork, you understand that you'll be waiving your rights, including your right to a trial, to confront your accuser, have the state try to prove the charge against you beyond the reasonable doubt.
I do, Your Honor.
And you understand that in entering such a plea, it could have an impact upon your job, your license, your residency, if applicable.
Correct, Your Honor.
There's no right to appeal.
Correct, Your Honor.
How do you plead to 1 count of DUI, less safe?
Guilty.
The sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 2 days, credit time served 2 days, balance probated. You'll report to probation next Thursday before 3 p.m. It's the probation office is located at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta.
Yes.
Anytime before 3 p.m. on that day. While on probation, you will complete the alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment if required, a risk reduction program, attend 1 victim impact panel, and pay a $400 fine, including any surcharges and court costs. Once you complete all these requirements, does the state have any objection to non-reporting?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Kasatkin, will be on a non-reporting status once the probation officer is satisfied that all these conditions are met.
And I'm assuming you guys want me to fill out the suspension form as well?
Yes, I'm sorry?
The suspension as well?
Is that going to be an affidavit of first conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
We do, and I can sign off on it, so DDS will give you limited driving privilege.
Right. Thank you, Your Honor. I will step outside to do that. Can I do that?
Perfectly fine. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further from me.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You good?
Whatever.
Okay. Ms. Spearman, are we ready with position 9?
I'm sorry, I haven't sent it to her yet, Your Honor. I'm almost
I'm
done.
so sorry. Okay.
We have already reviewed the standard plea colloquy, though, Judge, and are prepared as soon as it comes.
I didn't hear the first sentence.
Yes, Judge, we have already reviewed the standard plea colloquy and are prepared to proceed with the plea as soon as the paperwork comes through.
Okay, that's all I'm waiting for, the paperwork. Thank you.
Your Honor, before everything gets started, just to revisit position 5 on the show cause calendar, Ms. Alicia Edwards.
Yeah.
We just want to remain that same announcement, have it continue to the June 8th status conference calendar.
Okay. Ms. Edwards, your attorney has gone over the incident report with you. All right, does that refresh your memory?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will see you on June 8th at 1:30 p.m. Is that on your calendar? All right, and see if we can resolve the case at that time. Thank you.
Yeah, anything
This is at SAP at 11 a.m.
Please, anything.
What time is it now? 11 a.m.
Let me look at these.
She
Upstairs,
to get on the
5A now.
Yeah, Khalil Flowers.
only sent an email below within.
Information about him and his other Barbie Carter, who I not, there's another hand-me-down case. I haven't spoken to him yet.
The Zoom link.
So hopefully he'll show up.
I don't know who you're talking to, Mr. Getty, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, I just sent the plea paperwork from Mr. Saidi to Ms. Younger. Your Honor, I see you're talking. I didn't know if you were.
Sorry about that. This is State of Georgia versus Arman Saidi, accusation number 20 CR 003144C. Mr. Saidi was accused of battery back on June 30th, 2019 in Fulton County, Georgia. Saidi is present in the courtroom with his attorney, Ms. Spearman, and this is going to be a negotiated plea hearing. Mr. Saidi, been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is representing you today. May I place you under oath for purposes of the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Githia, what's the plea recommendation?
Is plead guilty to battery, 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, the balance probated, an anger management evaluation and any required treatment, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with the victim, Eleni Papadopoulou.
Did you get it right? No.
When I did not put, the state does not have any objection to probation being by phone.
Okay, so telephonic probation allowed?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Spearman, does your client?
Now, because I think on the calendar, it says battery, substantial physical harm. It has been amended to battery.
Yes, it has been amended to battery.
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Spearman, does your client agree to these terms?
Yes, Your Honor, he does.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
I would if I had seen a factual basis, but we do stipulate that the battery occurred, that y'all do have venue, and that Mr. Saidi is the person mentioned in this case.
All right. That's good enough. Mr. Saidi, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Oh.
No medication.
I don't think that's an antidepressant.
Yeah. Your Honor, he is on antidepressants. That's just to clarify for the record, but nothing that would affect his ability to knowingly and voluntarily enter into the plea today.
All right. And do you have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea today?
No, Your Honor.
And as your attorney has gone over the paperwork with you and gone over the waiver of rights, just to reiterate, if you decide to plead guilty to this charge today, you'll be placed on probation. And there is no right to file an appeal from my final decision in this case. Also, you will not have the opportunity to go back to court to have a trial of a judge and jury. You will not be able to confront your accuser, examine witnesses, challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the state try to carry its burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of battery?
Guilty.
The sentence is 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days. The rest of the sentence will be served on probation. You'll be authorized to do telephonic probation, but that simply means that you will contact your probation officer but next Thursday before 3 p.m. All right?
Yes, sir.
And it will be helpful, Ms. Spearman, if you want to touch base with probation and just let them know that this particular case of telephonic probation is authorized, and just to double check his phone number.
Okay.
I just want to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks.
Okay,
And you're filling out the paperwork, right? For the
we are filling out the paperwork right now. Is there a phone number that this recommends using for his
It's,
paperwork? The one at the
probation
top?
number is at the top. and
Perfect.
Where the address is printed on the letterhead, all right?
There's no-
While you're on probation, and which state is he in? Where is he?
He lives here
Where?
in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
In Atlanta. So why are we doing telephonic?
Mr. Saidi is already serving 3 years. He has 2.5 years left on federal probation at the moment. He reports in person monthly to the federal courthouse, and he also gets drug tested twice a week. So that is 5 times a month that he is already checking in with the probation officer, and 5 times a month that he is having to take time off of work to check in with the probation officer. Given that he's already having frequent check-ins and that he is on, he will be evaluated for anger management, we feel that telephonic probation should be sufficient in this case, since he's already checking in often enough with the probation
Okay.
officer.
First visit in person.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. versus in person.
And Your Honor, since Ms. Spearman did not stipulate to the facts, I can perfect the record and give a factual basis.
All right, just let me,
Oh, my apologies.
so first visit is in person and then telephonic probation authorized thereafter.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I haven't asked Mr. Saidi how he pleads yet, so go ahead and punch in the factual basis for the state.
Yes, Your Honor. If this case was to proceed to trial, the state expects the evidence to show that on June 30th, 2019, officers responded to 600 Phillips Boulevard located in Fulton County regarding a domestic dispute. And Mr. Saidi punched and grabbed Ms. Papadopoulou by the neck, leaving abrasions and red marks.
All right. Just to resume the plea colloquy, Mr. Saidi, I've already asked you if you are entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You've admitted and you are pleading guilty to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so as we go over this, it's 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days. You will do a, is it an ADET?
Anger management, Your Honor.
Or anger management?
ADET.
Okay, you'll do an anger management evaluation. All right, and submit yourself to any treatment or counseling if required. Is that what you all have decided, Ms. Spearman?
Yes, Judge, it is.
You'll also do 40 hours of voluntary community service and have absolutely no contact with Eleni Papadopoulou. Okay. First visit to probation must be in person. That's next Thursday before 3 p.m. at 132 Mitchell Street. Yeah? Before 3 p.m. Okay? After that, telephonic probations are authorized. If you have completed everything else, considering that he's got concurrent probation reporting requirements, does the state have any objection to non-reporting?
No objection. I'm sorry, non-reporting, so it would continue telephonic, right?
Yeah, it'll continue. It's just, but it, well, no, after he completes the conditions, then he doesn't have to do any reporting. But
No objection.
But he's technically on probation.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Spearman, just to clarify, if he completes the anger management and any treatment, the community service, then his probation will be non-reporting. So
Excellent.
when it's done, he just then has his other matters.
Great.
But
Thank you,
he's
Judge.
technically still on probation.
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's it. I can't do any more damage. Any other questions? No? All right. So good luck with your cases. Just to go over the calendar, please. Mr. Kazakian, did you have a question? Oh, have you got it?
No.
We filling out the paperwork.
Ms. Reagan, did he get this affidavit of his conviction?
Sir, if you could hold for 1 second, ma'am, sir, ma'am, sir, hold for 1 moment, please.
All right. Mr. Haddad, you ready to go over the calendar?
I am, Judge.
Okay. On the motions calendar, the Shaquille Adams is reset to June 22nd, 9 a.m. This is subject to the attorney's availability. She's got a personal emergency leave right now.
Am I giving you a copy?
Just letting everyone know.
And then is he the one with the DUIs?
No.
It is, okay, so. Long as they have that
Is he allowed?
No, they don't have the paperwork. I haven't put it in yet.
Here we go. No. All right, that was on the motions calendar. On the show cause calendar, position 1 and 2, Mr. Benton did appear. And he's got a third case, 21 CR 005-209G. All three matters are going to be addressed on June 8th at 1:30 p.m. And that is with counsel, Mr. Frank Gaither. Position 3, same announcement, attorney Frank Gaither, reset to June 8th at 1:30 p.m. Same announcement for position 4, attorney Frank Gaither, reset to June 8th, 1:30 p.m. status calendar. Position 5, same announcement, Attorney Gaither, reset to June 8th at 1:30 PM. Position 6, Donald Hudson. Donald Hudson did not make appearance, bench warrant granted, $1,000 surety. Position 7, Charles McCoy was a plea. Position 8, McNair is Attorney Gaither, reset June 8th at 1:30 PM. Position 9, Saidi was a plea. Final plea calendar. Position 1, Christopher Bailey, represented by Mr. Gaither. A case management order has issued, reset for jury trial. Position 2, Justin Finch, represented by Mr. Haddad. Case management order issued, reset for jury trial. Position 3, Jeffrey Greenway. That case is going to be transferred back to Judge Morrison's division from the Orca program to be combined with another open case, N22 CR 3297E. His attorney is going to be, I'm sorry, was it
Rosewood Berry, Judge.
Rosewood Berry, yes.
Rosewood Berry.
And what division was it being transferred to?
Judge Morrison.
Thank you.
Position 4, Scott Hill. His attorney is Barry Zimmerman. Based on Attorney Zimmerman's announcement, a bench warrant shall issue for Mr. Hill in the amount of $1,500 surety. Position 5 was a plea. Position 6, McLean, is going to be addressed at 1:30 PM today. Position 7, Nelson, reset for jury trial, case management order to issue. Position 8 is reset to June 22nd at 9 AM, motions calendar. And I've also issued a case management order for a jury trial. Of course, we'll reach the jury trial or not, depending on the outcome of the motions. Position 9, Tolliver has not appeared, bench warrant to issue, $1,000 surety bond. Position 10, Deshaun Williams, Mr. Haddad will be representing him. A case management order has issued, reset for jury trial. All right, that concludes our calendar for this morning. We will resume at 1:30. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Mr. Glanville, I'm going to leave the Zoom meeting and then I'll reconnect at 1:30, okay?